I wanted to know, there have been these arrests in Turkey of journalists from Vice News, 2 journalists and their translator, and there's also been a raid of a company called Koza İpek Media in Ankara. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to know, what does the Secretary General and the Secretariat think of these arrests of journalists reporting on conflict?
Sure. We've become aware of the issue regarding Vice News. We're looking into it. I mean, the reports as they stand are troubling, but we're obviously trying to harvest more details before expressing an opinion. I think the Secretary General has come out rather forcefully, notably in the last few days, on the situation with the Al Jazeera journalists and others in Egypt, and that there is a need for governments to ensure that journalists are able to work freely. I would say especially in zones of conflict where the risks to journalists are already high enough as they are.
And just one follow-up, there's the U.S. Department of Defense has put out a handbook, basically, that will require journalists to register in some way or to be viewed as sort of unauthorized possible combatants. And so there's a lot of pushback to that. And I wanted to know, is that something that, in terms of the U.S.'s own policies, that the U.S. that the Secretary,
I think,
listen,
I haven't seen the Department of Defense booklet you're referring to. Obviously, I think it also helps for policies to be put in place for journalists to ensure the safety of journalists. There's always an equilibrium that needs to be found, and I'm sure there's a healthy dialogue between the Department of Defense and the accredited journalists at the Pentagon, and I will not get into it.